We need a revolution. I would say that, but a peaceful revolution brings us back to the values that have been robbed from us over the past 40 years. The crisis has been, to some extent, co-opted by Bill Gates, by the World Economic Forum, in the same way that the COVID crisis was appropriated by them to make themselves richer, to impose totalitarian controls on society. Our democracy is devolving into kind of a corporate plutocracy. You go to the bailout of the Silicon Valley Bank and the war in Ukraine, which is costing us $113 billion. The war in Iraq and the wars that followed that have cost us $8 trillion. The total cost of the lockdowns was $16 trillion. And we got nothing we didn't get anything for all those wars we fought. The $8 trillion, we got zero. We got worse. What we're being told about this war is just not true. We've printed 10 centuries of money in the last 14 years. 42 years old. I got struck with a disease, a neurological disease, an injury called spasmodic dystonia, and it makes my voice tremble. I think our country's headed in a bad direction, and that's why I'm running, but I can run against Trump better than anybody else can.
Do you think you could win?
I know I can win. I've come here today to announce my candidacy for the Democratic nomination for President of the United States. This is what happens when you censor somebody for 18 years.
Oh, they don't want to let RFK on a stage with Biden.
Yeah.
RFK will rip that old man up.
And what I was making a completely different point about the rise of the emerging rise of AI, of artificial intelligence and surveillance technologies, which was creating an infrastructure that in the future totalitarian systems would be able to surveil us and intrude and control our lives in ways that had never happened in the past. We now have clear evidence that there were White House personnel who were ordering the social media companies to censor me, and it had nothing to do with misinformation. In fact, nobody's been able to show a single statement that I've ever made on my Twitter or any social media that is factually inaccurate. So I think the political parties, both parties, ought to be doing everything that they can to convince the American public that we really have a democracy.
He's an interesting guy in a lot of ways. Because he was a vaccine skeptic way before the COVID vaccine. He's been a skeptic of vaccines in general. And a lot of people say that's this is a conspiracy theory or it's too far. But, that argument after COVID is really much weaker than it used to be. Because people are actually like, yeah, I'm listening now.
Yes.
Now I'm actually kind of listening to that guy.
It seems like there's a playbook, and you guys have been following this playbook forever.
Yes. And I got his speech, his announcement speech last week.
I've come here today to announce my candidacy for the Democratic nomination for President of the United States.
He spoke for over an hour, and it was really fantastic. I don't agree with everything the guy says, but the major theme of his speech was that there is this unholy alliance of big business and big government, and they're working together to screw over the American people.
Cześć. Kandydatura Roberta F. Kennedy'ego zasługuje moim zdaniem na uwagę. Jest on bardzo ostro cenzurowany i stracił większość swoich kont w social mediach, a mimo to kandyduje na prezydenta Stanów Zjednoczonych. Co takiego głosi? Postaram się Wam tutaj przedstawić w kilku wycinkach z amerykańskiego internetu, bo uważam, że osoba ta zasługuje na dostrzeżenie także w Polsce i to, co głosi, z pewnością dla wielu osób, dla wielu organów jest bardzo niewygodne, więc zachęcam, jeśli lubicie taki niezależny przekaz, do powielenia, podania tej informacji dalej i zapoznania się z całym tym nagraniem.